welcome to this week's episode of Esports Wrap. I almost slipped up there. I almost slipped up. I'm your host, Michael Amorgan, and with us this week we have our co-host, Dwan.
Hello.
So just as a quick heads up as to what we're going to be talking about this week, we are going to be talking about EA's Anthem, which is supposed to be a fairly popular game that a lot of people are hoping doesn't flop. And we are also then going to be talking about Insomniac Games' Spider-Man.
Yay.
Which is another game that people are really hoping will not flop. And from the reviews, it doesn't seem like it will. But yes, let's jump right in and talk about... Well, before we get into that, how are you doing today, Dwan?
Oh, I'm great. How are you?
Well, I wanted to catch her off guard just a little bit.
Well, whatever.
And
I agree, Chris. I agree.
Spider-Man is unfloppable.
Have you seen the reviews?
The reviews have been wow. They have been great. Though I will admit, one of the reviews did remind me a lot of the handheld game that came, I should not say handheld, but the mobile game that came out maybe about 2 or 3 years ago. Where they were pretty much saying that it kind of gave you nodes and I don't need no reviews. That's your boy Peter Parker. For those who aren't aware, Ty Chrono is our co-host from the MOAR Tech show. And he's been looking forward to this game for some time now. Well, I think that goes for pretty much the three of us.
Yeah.
Pretty much most of the people that we game with.
And everyone else.
Pretty much. But yeah, it reminded me, at least from that review, because they were saying you start off at nodes, and you have to clean up different areas of your town from different gangs and stuff like that. And it kind of seemed like what they were going for with the mobile version of that game.
What?
That's what the review said to me. I'm just going with what they were saying. And you eventually start clearing up your town, essentially, New York. And of course things happen, and it kind of goes along in certain ways. Anyway, I'll let you explain the game, but I'm looking forward to it. It just reminded me of that, and I remember, regardless of how it played, I loved the game even from back then. So if that kind of took from that and improved it, all good for me.
Well, first off, I like the fact that they're not giving us a rookie Spider-Man. He's starting off well off into his 20s, late 20s, I think.
Yep.
So he's already established as Spider-Man, and he's already grown, I would say, in the tech field. So he's kind of a seasoned hero now out here, living his best life. And yeah, I'll say that I like the fact that they're not starting us off from scratch. Let's start there. Because all the other predecessors all the other predecessors, they started off where you had to from when he got bit from the spider, and you had to kind of build him up from that. Even in the movies, the MCU, it always starts off from scratch. And I'm kind of happy that we're having a older, more mature view. Hopefully it'll lead to a mature story as well.
I'm hoping. And I mean, they've already taken a lot of aspects from... Well, I should put it like this. The fact that they have so many different character, outfits, and they're incorporating, all the different Spider-Man... Well, I shouldn't say all, but a vast majority of them already shows that they're paying a lot of homage to what people, loved about Spider-Man. And...
Yeah,
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. The homage is great because they not only have, all of the... Well, not all, like you said, but most of his other costumes, because, part of Spider-Man is, having all those different costumes. I think my favorite was the one with, Dr. Ock, with, the little thing coming out. Yeah, that one was pretty cool. So it'd be great to see, if they included that one in it. But I also think it's cool that they're paying homage to like New York and like trying to make the game like as intricate and as I guess interactive as possible. Like for the kind of game that it is, I wasn't expecting that aspect of it. So I'm glad that they're also paying like a great deal of attention to his personal life because Peter Parker is just as important as Spider-Man.
I completely agree. And I do like what they're going for with a lot of it. And but even like I mentioned it back in the E3 review that we did from last year. Like there is so much that they actually did right with this. And even with the fight scenes, he doesn't let anyone die, he doesn't kill anyone. He actually saves people who are on the verge of dying. If you knock someone off of a ledge, they don't just fall to their death. He quite literally will grab them and fling them back to safety. Like
Nice.
that is the Spider-Man that we know, that we love.
I mean, I personally would let them drop, but you know, that's cool. That's cool.
But I mean, we have a few interesting characters. So we have, for the most part, the majority of Spider-Man's well-known. That's oh, Jimmy Artemis is back. Welcome back. Oh, okay. No, he's talking to
J. Cole
Chris.
reference.
But we have a lot of the default heroes, like the Sinister Five and other characters that are kind of well known within the Spider-Man universe.
I'm so interested to see like Kingpin. Like, you have no idea.
Like, what other characters are you really looking forward with this?
I think Mr. Negative. That's his name. Yeah, I'm kind of
Yeah,
looking forward to him because he's supposed to be like the big bad boss. But like, I'm interested to see how they play it out because Kingpin is also in it and he kind of like runs the city. So I'm kind of hoping we get to see a bit more of Kingpin and not this Mr. Negative, just like, you know, like a little fall guy or something. Like there's some like a much bigger plot behind it than we originally thought. So I'm hoping that they go in that direction.
thanks for the follow, Alka, Devin, and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Chris says, "Watch Daredevil. You talk about Kingpin."
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Okay. Try to show a little bit of shade there. Okay.
A little?
A little bit of shade. But yeah, I mean, Kingpin, he's kind of like the underworld boss of things, and Mr. Negative seems he seems underworld as well in a sense, but more mafia type. Like he's gonna be up in your face, not as subdued or behind the scenes.
He's probably a bit more hands-on than Kingpin, I'd say.
Probably. That's what the feel that I get from him, at least.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently no shade. He's just trying to get you to watch Daredevil. Come on, you haven't watched Daredevil?
Shh. That's another topic for another day.
Oh.
Why are you doing this right now?
Oh.
Why are you doing this right now?
Okay.
I'll watch it eventually. I even acknowledge it as one of the best Marvel, you know, cinematic TV shows. So
apparently, the guy who doesn't know how to pronounce his own name,
hi,
Takoya,
Omar.
otherwise known as Omar.
You shady. No, you shady. Wow. Let's get back on topic.
I just remember he didn't even want to like say his own name on the other show, so.
You know what I thought was weird? I'm hoping like he's probably like in a DLC or something. The fact that they didn't put the Goblin in, that was kind of weird because he's like a big thing.
That was weird, yeah. Because we do have villains. So we have Mr. Negative, we have Kingpin, we have Electro, and this is starting the Sinister Five kind of stuff. We have Rhino, Scorpion,
Yeah,
Vulture.
Rhino.
We have Shocker and Inner Demons, and that's all they've showed us.
Well, they did also mention that Black Cat, I think, is gonna be in a DLC, so she's in there as well.
Okay. We just got 100 bits from Alka, so thank you for that. That's a
Thanks,
nice little
Alka.
donation. Say Decoya on YouTube, get on Twitch though. That's from Chris.
Yeah, he's a YouTuber wannabe.
Oh,
You should
okay, I
just get
see.
on Twitch.
Whoops. Well, okay. And okay. Alka's saying I've never seen it, but it's definitely one of the best. I'm not sure what he's referring to though.
He was quoting me when I was talking about Daredevil.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. And I'm glad you're enjoying the stream, Alka. Keep watching. I'm sure you'll enjoy
Thank
the rest.
you.
But yeah, we see a lot of the, at least for those that they have, we see some information about them, like who they are, that kind of thing, an explanation of stuff like that on the website. And so the fact that they don't have Black Cat on here, even though she's been confirmed for the DLC,
Yep.
then that means that we may still see some other characters from that lineup, like maybe Venom. Who knows? I
I
mean,
don't know.
that would be an interesting fight. I don't really know how Venom would play into this type of storyline, though.
I don't know. I think I can do without him. Like he's like kind of like overplayed right now. Like he's getting a movie and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We good. We good on this side.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So, okay, so we have the bad guys. We have the costumes. We have the character down packed, and they're actually doing all of that at a pretty good pace. What else should we really be looking forward to actually when it comes to this game?
Definitely the combat system. Like
Okay.
it's kind of like has a like what's it called? Arkham type. I guess
Arkham Dark Knight.
feel. Yeah, like it kind of has that kind of feel, and I like how you can like interact with the surroundings, and it's basically like a combo style system.
Okay. And I know it seems to be almost, well, most Spider-Man games are, but it's almost like free world where you can pretty much go wherever you feel like for the most part. And
Yeah.
there's things that's happening, like a little bit earlier on, I would have shown where he pretty much like was chasing someone down and slipped through a sign essentially to try and catch them as the sign is being destroyed. So, I mean, there seems to be a lot of dynamics going on within the game, and that definitely helps when it comes to doing things like actually making sure that the game is moving fluidly, that you're not seeming like, oh well, I hit a, like I'm trying to go through this little circle here, but I'm getting this invisible wall kind of thing going on, which is always a bit jarring to me. I don't know, like do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I think it looks like they have it on the wraps, so I'm not too concerned about it.
Okay.
Yeah, Chris, yeah, I wouldn't mind it as a DLC, but like I'm just tired of like the Venom Spider-Man archetype right now. Like give us the other characters. I wouldn't mind it as a DLC though.
He's saying we don't mind about the reviews. We just buying it
Yeah,
anyway.
The reviews are really good though.
They are. They are.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
By the way, welcome to the show, Best Guild. So this is Soul
Welcome.
Calibur 6, is what he's saying.
Oh wow, deep. No, it's not. It has like a what's it called? Like it has a tree as well, I think, like where you can upgrade your abilities and moves and more combo subset and stuff like that. No, it's not a Soul Calibur game, dude. Disrespectful.
Ooh. Ooh.
Got all kind of feelings. I was triggered.
Wow. Okay. You got all up inside Dwan's skin just now.
Yeah, but I was triggered.
Wow. Okay. So let's see. Watch Dogs all over again. Watch Dogs maybe, but Watch Dogs kind of fell flat after a while. I don't think we're gonna have that same kind of feeling with this Spider-Man game. I mean, after a while, you've gonna beat the game, and so it's gonna be like that. But I don't think we're gonna see it go down in rating. I mean, it's already in reviewers' hands. They're already giving it like 95 out of 100 and stuff like this. So like, how do you make a bad game like that? Venom
Like legit, like there is getting like 9s and up. I think the only person who didn't give it a 9 was IGN. Sorry, IGN, Metro, Game Central, and Game Cult.
What'd they give it? Like a 8?
They gave it 1 second. IGN gave it an 8.7, Metro Game Central gave it a 7, and Game Cult gave it a 7.
See, there you go. So still pretty high up when you really think about it.
Yeah.
So
apparently they're saying that Spider-Man has a downgraded graphics as well because of that one puddle. Oh my god.
Well, it's not okay. Hold on. It's not necessarily the puddle itself. Let me show you what the real issue is that people are really going on about. If I can.
Right, I'll talk because they give everything a 10 out of 10. I was surprised as well.
Wow, IGN are sellouts. I mean, they kind of are.
They kind of, yeah, not kind of.
Yeah, I really can't like knock them down for like saying that, to be quite honest.
Takoya, whichever way you want to pronounce it, is now on Twitch, guys.
Hey,
This is a momentous moment.
Look at that. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys the Reddit thread that essentially caused all of this issue.
You mean about the puddle?
About the puddle and about like the Spider-Man suit and everything like that. Because it's more than just the puddle. First off, in the E3, we pretty much got this puddle that had a lot of reflectiveness and like gloss into it, and it was like covering almost everywhere on the floor. And then with the release, the puddle's dialed back like by 5, and it's not as reflective, so it's not as shiny and like pretty looking. And then the reflectiveness. Spider-Man just learned that from the rhyme and cleaned up the puddle, man.
I mean, if anything, they should be happy the construction crew like got that leak fixed.
No, man, that's the janitor.
Yeah,
that's
sorry,
Stanley.
my bad.
That's Stanley right there.
Made a cameo and he just cleaned it up. They ungrateful.
Very. But I mean, they were also talking about like the difference between the suit. Like the suit in the E3 version, they were saying that that was a cinematic. And so it wasn't so much the game, it was just like rendered at the very highest graphic thing. And that some people were also saying that they moved the light from the sun a little bit, so it wasn't as reflective on his, at least on his suit. Which I can kind of see, but it also seems like they changed the color a bit, so it could be more than just the light, in my personal opinion. They might have actually downgraded the graphics just a little bit, and then probably what we saw at E3 was the PC version.
I don't know. I just feel like they're overreacting, to be honest. I'm pretty sure the game is still gonna look dope, so we just have to wait and see.
Like, okay, so a little bit further down inside here, people and their comments. There was a pretty much reflections. There was a.
Oh, BS Kills is saying there isn't a PC version?
Yeah, that's right. They're right. There isn't one. So yeah, I don't really know. So here we go. This is some other comparisons. 2017, 2018. 2017, slightly more shininess on Spider-Man, and you get to see a lot clearer, like all the different stuff in the background. Necessarily, not necessary. Then the.
I mean.
No, sorry, go on.
Oh no, I'm comparing the photo in the Reddit thread. Like, it doesn't even look like the same time of day.
Exactly. Like there are some slight changes that they did. You have to admit, but I mean, to be quite honest, the game's quality in itself hasn't really been degraded. That's my personal opinion. Sure, you can contest that. You can say, oh, they turned things down to make sure the game ran properly, that kind of thing. And sure, you could argue that, but at the same point, it still looks beautiful.
I think the biggest problem, I think the problem that people had with it was it looks like they were like kind of like trying to, I don't know, upplay the graphics so that like to make sure that everybody bought the game. It was kind of like you doing like this underhanded thing, like just give it to us straight how it is so we could determine for ourselves instead of like trying to, I guess, put a wool over our eyes. I think that was what it was with the consumer base. Which then
Mm,
I could understand the being disgruntled about that, but then at the same time, it's like if you can buy the game, just buy the game.
pretty much.
Yeah, like
And
don't bitch about it.
wow. um, but honestly, yeah, I honestly see this game as being a really good one. And graphics, I don't have a
Right, cause
problem. Gameplay, I don't have a problem. At least from what I've been seeing, from what I've been hearing, I don't have a problem.
yeah,
And so I have
I
a feeling I'm gonna enjoy it.
I agree with Alco because like the game is still obviously like at E3 they only showing you like a portion, like it's still being processed, it's still being worked on. So at the end of the day, you have to expect changes. Like you can't just expect if I got a game exactly how it was at E3, I would be disappointed personally because that means that y'all haven't worked on it since E3. So what is going on? I would personally be like, what's going on, yo?
This is true, and considering the E3 that we saw this come out was the one from last year, and it hasn't been released yet. Like, there's been a lot of work that they would have had to put into it to actually justify this kind of wait time.
Well,
So yeah, you're
God of
actually quite
God
right.
of War was just beautiful overall. So
This is true. I haven't played it, but I've seen some stuff from it, and yeah.
but yeah,
See,
going back to the gameplay, I also like the aspect where you can like play as Mary Jane. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah.
I'm not sure
I'm
how that. Well, sorry, go on.
yeah. Oh, well, you're gonna say you weren't sure how they're gonna incorporate her in it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Hopefully they do some kind of like detective type of thing because there was like this one screenshot that got leaked where I think she was like searching around in one of the mafia's like lair or something like that. Because I know she's a reporter for the Daily Bugle now.
Yep.
So she's probably like hot on some kind of story and trying to gain evidence for it or something like that. So I think that would kind of be like a nice little break from all the superhero stuff because that can get really boring really fast. So depending on how they work it, it could actually add to the gameplay. Hi,
Uh,
Alexis.
hey, Alexis, welcome to the stream. Oh, thanks for following. But on that same note, like with her, this is me going off a little bit.
Yeah.
With her becoming like working for the Daily Bugle and stuff like that, it kind of feels to me a lot like the Lois and Clark kind of relationship now as well.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
And like how Lois is always getting herself in trouble. Mary Jane has
Mm-hmm.
always been getting herself in trouble, even before she was a reporter. Now she's a
You
reporter.
right.
Like, how
She
is she gonna
she
even
messy.
survive
She
at this
messy.
point?
Hopefully, because you know they're kind of like trying to portray more, I guess, independent, strong women. So hopefully, she won't need to be saved every 300 seconds.
Wow.
Hopefully, hopefully.
Hopefully. Next thing you know, like he's saving her from dropping off one thing, then he has to save her from checking out that building, then from Mr. Negative, who somehow found out he was Peter Parker.
Right.
So, I mean, there's a lot of ways that they can go about with her. It's just how will they? And I
Yeah.
think that's going to be interesting. And then,
Mhm.
like you mentioned, we're going to also be playing as Peter Parker himself in certain instances. So,
Yeah.
yeah, the life outside of Spider-Man should be interesting as well.
I think Aunt May is supposed to make an appearance as well.
Really?
Yeah.
That should be interesting.
Yeah. So I'm really interested in how they're gonna play up his personal life because you know he's more into gadgets and techs and I think he's in the comics he had a business, right? I can't
Yeah,
remember correctly.
yeah, I
If I'm
believe
wrong.
so.
Yeah, I think they're going along that line. So I'm kind of interested to see like how that plays into his heroic life. Oh,
People are going wild in this chat. Mary Jane is irrelevant. Where is Spider Gwen?
I don't even think she's named Spider Gwen anymore. I think they changed her name.
I think they did. Let me see really quick. Spider Gwen.
Name. I got on Google too.
Spider Woman is now her name, or at least.
That's it? Ew. Are you serious? Is it? It isn't like Ghost Spider or something like that.
Like
I'm seeing Ghost Spider.
Ghost Spider. I mean, that would make a lot more sense.
I hope it's Ghost Spider and not Spider Woman.
Let's see. I'm trying to go down here. Blah 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 blah. Radioactive art. Gwen Stacy Spider Woman, a variation of Gwen Stacy that was bitten by a radioactive spider. Blah blah blah. I don't know. She might be. I think depending on the world that she's in, she has different names.
Oh. Miles is gonna be in it, guys.
Yay! That is right. He is. Yeah.
I forgot. Wow. I feel bad. I almost forgot about him.
And wasn't there another girl there as well, aside from Mary Jane?
Aunt May?
No, like this seemed like a girl that was almost like his age, like Miles's age.
I don't know. Maybe.
Also, Chris, I need all I need is for that my Alicia DLC in my life. Hold on, are you guys saying Aunt May is going to be playable?
No, I think weird. I think he's saying MJ.
Okay.
What do you mean? Who likes Miles? Miles is a great character. Oh man.
Okay, so Omar is saying that it is Ghost Spider, by the way.
We don't care about Miles, really? Wow. Y'all are really disrespectful in this chat today.
Oh no, they say yet until Spider-Verse drops.
Nah, BS Guild said, who likes Miles? And he did like a little side eye.
Oh, Silk. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Oh, you being salty. All right. Go be salty in the corner.
Okay. And Omar's saying we always care about Miles.
Oh.
Okay, so before we get too much more off topic, the next topic, as we mentioned, was EA's Electronic Arts Anthem, which I again hope and pray really, really hard does not fail, even though like we have a lot of things saying that it might. Like the entire development team pretty much leaving and them having to start like from where they left off with a different team.
Ouch.
And I mean, Chris, if I'm wrong with that, please let me know. Like, but if I remember correctly, that is what happened. And if I remember correctly, it's because of creative differences or something along those lines. And
wow, is this like Bungie all over again?
I am not sure. I'm really hoping it's not. But you know what's really like bugging me? Anthem's opening, like the sound effects for them when they show like their logo and stuff sounds so much like Destiny 2 to me.
I'm not surprised, to be honest, because like they were comparing this game to Destiny for a while now.
And I mean, I will admit. Okay, so Chris is saying it's just key people and they've been replaced, so it's not the entire team. But I will admit though, like some of the stuff in these games are actually quite neat. So for example, we're going to be starting off with 4 different types of what they're calling javelins, mecha suits. Right. We have rangers, which are precision and damage, which I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be playing on. Oh, and one of them died. One of the key people died. Oh. That sucks.
R.I.P.
Yep.
Oh wow, the lead director. Wow.
Wow. That's
ouch.
That's harsh.
Should have been a real blow to that team. Wow.
Yeah.
Hopefully they bounce back from that though.
Well, a lot of people are hoping they bounce back because if your lead designer pretty much is dead, then you know the original dream and idea of it, you have to fight really hard to keep that alive.
Yeah.
Um, but we have the Colossus, which is pretty much the tank. We have the Interceptor, which is all about agility, and
Uh-huh.
even Anthem themselves calls it like a ninja. And then you've got the Storm, which I will admit, like the color scheme and how it's set up and looking at it reminds me of Warlock from Destiny 2 so much. And like the Ranger reminds me of the Titan, just a little bit slimmer.
Yeah.
And I won't deny, like the color scheme from the Interceptor reminds me of the Hunter.
I think that's just you projecting though.
Maybe,
Like try to
maybe.
go in with the unbiased
I'm trying here.
point.
I'm trying. But I mean, it doesn't help that the one that looks like the Warlock, the Storm, is also the one that does damage from a distance with electrical stuff, which also looks a lot like, Warlock's Void stuff.
What class do you think you'd be interested in playing?
Well, see, that's the thing. From what it sounds like, you can pretty much just jump into any javelin if you have. I'm not sure. Maybe if you have enough money to buy them or something.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure if you actually have to pick a particular javelin.
Yeah, but you'd be drawn to one more than the others. Like I'd probably be a ranger or interceptor.
I'll probably be a
Probably.
ranger or a storm, to be quite honest.
Ah.
I like doing damage from range. When I first
Yeah, we
started
know. We
game.
know.
Wow,
Yeah.
trying to shut me up quick.
Just a tip for the stream. Michael is that guy who likes to hang in the back and snipe while you getting attacked in the front. That's Michael.
You mean the guy that's killing stuff, with headshots and trying to like
Debatable.
keeping people alive.
Debatable.
Anyway, I used to always be up in front as a warrior class or a paladin or something like that. So
You want to change the pace?
I like to change of pace.
Ah, okay, okay. I can understand that.
When I was doing games like Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2, I was up in your face, and then with World of Warcraft, I decided I'd take a step back and actually like take some distance. Make
Uh-huh.
sure I don't die before something runs up on me. Which still happens because of the casting speed at times.
Wow.
Say lowest kill count headshots where sir, when I actually have to try and run stuff and actually act like a Titan in Destiny 2. Yeah, you don't talk to me about headshots and most kills when you all can actually pull back and I'm actually trying to get attention to stuff. Okay.
You do that?
Yeah, I do that.
Oh, okay. All right. That's dope. That's what's up.
Nice attempt at shade right there. One. But they also have a lot of different stuff inside this game as well, which is what this is: our world, my story. And this is actually something Chris and I were talking about just last Saturday, where we were hoping that it kind of came off. I'm ignoring Chris right now
Don't ignore him.
because that's what I do anyway. I punch things off of cliffs in Destiny 2. But we were talking about how we were hoping that things merged well enough so that if you were starting off either in free play or in story mode, essentially what's going to happen is you can play either one and then jump into whatever it is, then play like if you have to defeat one boss or something like that. And you don't want to necessarily play by yourself. You can just have your friends join up with you and you can defeat that thing together. Which I think
Yeah.
is a really good way to go if it's done properly. And they actually do talk about it. So essentially what it is that my story is where you pretty much go into the main city, you could say, and that's where you talk to your agents, which is your NPCs, actually develop relationships with them. And the way how Anthem does it, I hate to say it, but it actually reminds me a little bit about Star Wars: The Old Republic with your companions, because you could actually develop your companions to either hate you or even develop them to the point where you can like have a love interest with them. And there's a few other games that have been out that's had similar like kind of relationship things that you could do depending on how you
Mhm.
interact. And it seems like this is one way that you could do that. I was hoping it would go exactly. It seems minimal. I was hoping it would affect the actual world, like what things like Rift and other games that actually try to make a world that is based upon what's happening and what people
Yeah,
choose.
it's not a role playing game, and
Yeah,
I think BioWare is kind of known for that, so they're probably like taking a step away and trying to branch out. So,
exactly. And our world, what they're saying is it's that essentially it's a shared dynamic world scale event, so that essentially if it's daytime where you are, your friends over, let's say you're in the US, your friends over in Japan, they're also seeing daytime in the game. The game has its own time, it has its own weather, everything's happening at the exact same time.
oh,
um so their thing is they want it to be built in so that if someone says, hey, did you see that, literally everyone inside your party would have had the chance to see it.
okay.
And so it has the personal story, which is might be what might be interesting, because then I would hope, depending on the types of relationships you get, they may give you more types of missions. And so the missions that you get may dependent on the types of relationships and how you actually build those. Um, and then you can always invite your friends in to do the mission with you. At least that's from what it seems like. Because then when they
Yeah,
say, sorry, go
I
on.
think they had it where you can play by yourself, and like if you had a mission to do that required like more people to do it, like where you could add more people, like people could just hop into your party,
Yep,
or if you needed help, they could just like hop in on you.
that's what I'm hoping, and that's what it seemed like during E3. When they say about our world, though, they're saying that it's one of the great things is that it's shared, and pretty much go into things what I've talked about, including large scale events for every player around the world, through the use of dedicated servers. So when your friend is blah 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 blah, and imagine you're out in the world on a mission. It's dark and it's storming and messes with your visibility, and you and your friends experience it all at this exact same time. You can jump into an in-game party with friends and help them take on their own missions. So yeah, it does sound like there may be special missions depending on relationships, or even if there's
Yeah.
not, you can still jump in.
So
Or
wait, you can't be in a party like beforehand, like you're always
it sounds like you can, and then people can just jump into your party if like they see you're available for a party or something like that.
kind of like how Monster Hunter set up.
Kind of, yeah, that's what it seems like. Except I don't think you may have to like send the flash flare out.
Ah,
That admittedly to
that
me
might.
is annoying. Like
Yeah, I
having
just was
to,
gonna say that might get a little annoying
yeah,
having to do that.
like when I'm trying to like avoid a boss and try to get a friend to join me in Monster Hunter, and I gotta send that flare up, and then next time I see like I'm getting body slammed by this big ass thing, like I don't
Well,
need that.
one of the many things faults of Monster Hunter, but we're not gonna get into that right now.
Yeah. Um, but you can also choose to explore the world at your own pace and go looking for your next adventure. Um, and one of the key things about it as well is that they're saying is that because they're going to be world events, that will also get good. Like, yes, Omar, I will get good. You get good. Don't let me hear you crying.
Pro tip, Omar, when Monster Hunter first came out, Omar used to die all the time.
See, there you go. And no, Chris, you can't run and flare at the same time. It stops you. So yeah, but from the events, it seems like there may be, at least from listening to into their trailers, there might be special world quests as well that's kind of happening, or world missions.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be something interesting as well. So let's see. It also means that if your group doesn't need to have different exosuits to succeed, so you can quite literally play as the exact same type of suit, so you can all be. Their example of it is the Mecha Ninja clan that you always want to take on.
Okay.
Um, it's easy to join up with friends, like we mentioned, so you can join in at their mission at any point. You don't have to be at the beginning. This also seems like they're going to allow it so that you can actually, if you decide to party up with friends, it's going to make the game a lot easier for you and also give you more loot because of it. Instead of just taking things on, which kind of seems like a little bit of a cop-out. Like, if I'm killing this thing by myself, managing to actually stay alive, I feel like I should get more loot.
I don't know.
What do you
Maybe.
what do you guys think inside the chat? How do you guys feel about that? Because their whole thing is how to triumph as one, which is their part about their belief that 4 players can overcome together with a shared goal, fight their way to the finish line, and earn crazy amounts of loot, all because they chose to unite. Quotes. End quotes.
I guess like they're trying to encourage you like to play with other persons. Like you can play by yourself, but they're trying to get you to play with someone else. I think that's the end goal.
That's what it seems like, and it also seems like it's not just going to be your friends that can probably just jump in. It's going to be random people as well if you probably allow that setting. I hope that's a setting that they allow, and not just like by default allowing anyone and everyone to join it, unless you're like looking for a party or something like that.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like you should probably get better loot, but I don't even know how the loot system works in this. At least they don't have microtransactions, so they claim.
So they claim. I hope it doesn't, and I hope they don't have anything like, what's it called, Etherverse, like Destiny 2.
Yeah, which is annoying.
Eververse, that's what it is. Eververse.
Yeah, it's really annoying. Annoying verse.
Wow. But I mean, they also have some pretty interesting ways of gameplay as well with this, and we have some serious mobility when it comes to playing as well. So this is what I'm showing you guys right now. This is a heavy, or shoot, what's what they call again? The Colossus. So we're flying essentially. We can attack from a range distance, and then zoom in and then do a melee attack as we land. We also have health and ammo pickups. So if you're killing stuff, you can get ammo, you can get health back for your suit.
Thank God.
So it's definitely better in that sense than some other games where you don't have that. Or you have
I
to
love
try,
that
like,
you said some
items.
other game. We know what you're referring to.
Yeah. Where you either have to use items or there's just nothing else that you can do other than like trying
Switch some
to
guns.
exactly switch some guns. Like there's a lot of other stuff that comes into this, and so I'm glad they have pickups. Then we actually have the targeting system, which is really good considering that they have missiles that actually arc and stuff like that. So from what they're saying, threats come from all sides, often from elevated positions and at long range. So abilities with long trajectories. Your Cypher helps you see where your mortars, grenades, and other arcing projectiles will land.
I wonder how that's gonna work, like the targeting system, because of the enemies. Like, if it's something like you will have to work on getting better at, because like I'm not gonna stand there and wait to see where my bullets are gonna fly, and this big monster is trying to kill me.
Pretty much. And what I'm hoping, well, for starters, it's going to be different than what most of people play. Because, well, for starters, it's, how should I put it? It's different. For starters, you're going to be up in the air trying to shoot stuff. And you can actually, from what it looks like, be up in the air for a while. Not just like 1 or 2 seconds, or you're just jumping really high or something like that. Because remember, these are exosuits. They have rockets. So we can essentially fly with these things. And I think that's one of the ways we can actually move between areas. And so we have that. We have us on the ground, but the things are also moving. So we also have to get used to, much like Monster Hunter, kind of prepare and make sure that if we're doing something with a distance, let's say a bow, for example, in Monster Hunter, we kind of have to make sure that we aim where it would end up going.
No, okay.
So it's going to take a little bit of skill, essentially. Chris is telling you just no scope it, though.
I subscribe to that.
Apparently there's also going to be combos as well. So depending on how you, like, there's going to be different ways as to what you do, and then it ends up doing a combo. So they say the best way to maximize is, as a team, to set up teammates for massive combos. With this example that I'm showing you guys right now, though, the Storm Javelin has released a bolt of electricity on the ground, and then, so that deals area of damage, and then finishing up with a blast from the Colossus, so that does extra damage on top of that. And yeah, it could be pretty neat.
Yeah, I actually kind of like that.
I want to see what all you can do and what happens if you've got like 4 different sets of things. But at the same point, like, I'm also wondering, like, if you do go Mecha Ninja Clan, like, how does the combo work with that if you're all doing the exact same attack?
I'm sure they have like different animation for the chain. I'm sure. Well, I'm hoping that that's how it's gonna be, because it sounds interesting.
I'm hoping as well.
Like, this is one of the most interesting things about this game so far that I've actually seen. So I'm actually kind of interested in seeing where they go with that. And it also plays towards the theme of the actual game, because they're really trying hard to get you to play with other people. I don't know if you noticed that. Like, they're really trying really hard.
They are. They really are. And from doing combos with teammates to actually having you party up with stuff to getting extra loot, making things a little bit easier. The fact that you can jump out of your party and not be swamped by like higher level stuff, and then jump into a party and the same thing not happen. Like, I think that's awesome. And that was something that I was hoping they would actually allow, because I hate it when like I'm jumping from one thing to the next, and then there are some games like that where you join up. It's because of the power level difference. It scales it, so it either brings me up or brings the monster up to a certain level. You leave, and then you get one shot because either you're too low.
Oh, I hate that.
Or something like it's.
I just have PTSD.
Chris is saying.
I don't know.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna reply to MOAR where he said I prefer to play with people. I don't know. Sometimes it depends. If a person can hold their weight, like, I have no problem playing with persons. But like, if you cannot hold your weight, please remove yourself from my party, please. Please.
So time to maybe get a little bit of bad feedback, but the fact that you haven't kicked me out from any of your fire teams, what does that mean?
It means that I haven't found a way out yet. I'm kidding. I'm just teasing.
Oh, wow, y'all. This is what I deal with.
Mike is actually pretty good when he's ready. Like, he's a really good like decoy. So like,
wow,
the Titan is like perfect for you, babe. I'm just saying, some people, like, that's just their niche.
Whenever we play another game, when I'm like a mage or something like that, I'll show you how I play with that kind of class too.
You mean like Final Fantasy?
Yeah, but we haven't really done too much. We're still leveling up in that.
Alco, please don't look at me in a bad light. I'm just being honest.
See, this is what I have to deal with, y'all. Like,
oh,
that's
man.
what I have to deal with. So not only throwing shade, but she's throwing you straight under the bus. Thank you.
That's Lily, not me. That's not me. That's Lily.
They don't know who Lily is.
They're about to find out.
Omar's like,
no,
telling
Lily
straight up.
She is the savage. You never know which one you can get.
Anyway.
I love all you though.
Apparently they're also going to be having weak points inside these monsters as well, which is really nice. So, but that also adds an extra element of complexity to the monsters as well. especially if you are the power class like the Ranger. Though, you know, if you can, well, I don't know how the Colossus is. Technically, tanks are either they soak up damage or they do a whole lot of damage. So I'm not
Yeah.
sure what the Colossus will do, but the Ranger is actually said to do like precision and damage.
Well, when I saw the game fit for the Colossus, I think they're gonna take it deals a lot of damage route.
Hmm.
So it's probably gonna be that one based off the footage that I saw on E3 and the videos that they've revealed since, which I don't really mind.
Fair enough, fair enough. By the way, Alka, thank you for that extra 100 bits. That's very welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Say no tank meta.
See, Chris knows. I'm just trying to help people be great.
But yeah, I think the weak points is going to be a nice touch to it. A little bit of complexity. But the thing that really gets me are the loadout systems. Essentially, these are going to be things that as to how you upgrade your mecha. So you can actually,
javelin.
yeah. So you could make it so that you can fly a little bit longer, or the cooldown on your guns takes less time, stuff like that. Then you also have your skills that can help go along with that, and so it can really like give you a well-rounded character as to what you really wanted to do.
Are they like mods or is it like a part of the?
They seem like mods. So for example, if we look right here, javelin progression, they say that as your pilot gains experience operating specific javelin, you'll collect lots of equipment of different abilities and rarities. You might want to equip components to reduce cooldown of your ranger's grenade attack and dish out even more damage in the field. As an example, each javelin all have their own unique equipment which can be collected. Your loadout choices will allow you to tailor your javelin's abilities to your playstyle, or discover different playstyles you may not have considered. Then there's the actual customization of them.
Oh, okay. So that's just like the weapon and the gear little, and then you can customize them further. So that's actually pretty cool. I don't mind that.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. Chris is oh lord. Chris is saying so the shadier that Dwan gets, the more bits Alka will give. He says not sure if he'd go that far, but he's done enough. He's done so.
I like Alka.
Devin's a nice guy. Like I'll admit it. Like he and I have known each other for almost a decade now. So yeah. And Chris wants you to drag him.
I think he may drag you.
He says, quote, Dwan, drag me. So he wants you to drag him. Okay.
The graphics is really beautiful as well.
Yes, they are. Okay, so I'm back. Which guy is funny? Omar?
I think he means Alka.
I'm thinking so. Alka saying, your smile was so golden the computer couldn't even compute much more. Wow, thank you. Thank you. I feel like I have a friend in this conversation right now. Chris and Dwan are just like trying to drag me.
Wow. Wow.
Don't worry, Dwan. And Chris. Like y'all up there with my friends in my friend like categories. Omar, I know what's up with Omar though.
You know what I'm really looking forward to? The landscape. Because the game looks really beautiful. I mean, we've only really got to see like one section of it. Well,
yeah.
Two or three, I think. We got to see the like kind of the inner city, and then we saw like the immediate outskirts. Yeah.
And where they flew into the storm or something like that at one point.
Yeah.
So there's three things that we've kind of seen. But everything from the javelins to the NPCs to the landscape to even these monsters and the effects. Like, look at this. This is an ultimate ability happening right now. And this is beautiful. Like, look at the flames on this. Look at the electricity. Like, it looks really nice. I know I'm hyping it up a bit, but it looks nice. I don't know about those eggs in the background there. Like, that kind of looks a little blurry, but that could just be like maybe like fog or something like that.
Uh,
And my cam is down again. Holy crap. I'm not sure what's going on with this, guys. I apologize.
is there gonna be like a cross-platform situation going on? Because I think it's gonna be released on PC and Xbox as well, right?
It is. I'm not sure about that though, and I haven't seen anything really saying about it. Knowing PS4 and their cross-platform like ideas,
Issues? Yeah.
yeah. Anthem cross-platform.
Well, they have between now and next year, because it's supposed to be dropping like spring next year, right?
Yeah.
So they have between now and next year to figure something out.
Yeah, so they're saying that there's no plans for crossplay at launch. Bioware says it was. See, the funny thing is, on June 9th, they said there was no plans. June 10th, then they were looking into plans. And then June 22nd, they're like, no plans at launch. So it may change, like post-launch DLC kind of thing.
Hopefully.
So, and then Sony's also saying that they have special exceptions to the rules, much like Final Fantasy 14, where you can actually cross-platform play. So there are ways, and I guess it just depends on the game. So long as Sony doesn't decide, oh, well, you get the best experience on us.
I mean, they're not wrong.
Mm.
They're not wrong.
I don't
Debatable,
know.
eh?
Debatable.
We'll
Very
agree to
debatable.
disagree.
Agreed. Yeah, I don't have a high expectation that Anthem will be an exception, Chris. Like, that's just how it is. It's because it's not from Squeenix. But yeah, I mean, we have a lot of stuff expected for this game, and everything from the progression, customizations, to just the storyline. I really hope it does well.
Yeah.
Like, that is my sincere and utmost feeling for this.
It has potential.
Agreed. Take care, Omar. Thanks for stopping in.
Bye, Omar.
And he's actually calling it with time. I think that. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about with either game, or?
Well, I'm more excited for Spider-Man at the moment because it has a closer release date.
Exactly.
But I also wanted to add with that, I'm looking forward to just interacting with the NPCs, because apparently, like, you can like walk around New York City and like they'll do like typical New York City stuff, like where they'll stop you and be like, "Oh, can I get a photo?" And like you're walking with like past someone, and you can like give them a high five, or you could take like the public transportation system in the Spider-Man outfit. I thought that was so cool. And
that's interesting.
I'm also looking forward to the web system, because we didn't talk about that, like going around the actual city. And what else?
I kind of touched on
that. And
that
they're also
going to
have a photo mode, so I'm looking forward to that as well, because the one in God of War was really good.
Now, what do you mean by photo mode? You mean just like taking photos like Spider-Man would of himself?
Yeah. Yeah, they normally but they normally come out really, really good. Like, you have like real photographers sometimes who like play the game, and they come up with like the most beautiful images ever.
This is true.
So I'm really looking forward to that.
If I remember though, didn't they already have like a photo mode in a previous Spider-Man game?
I'm not sure, but I had the one for the PS2 or the PS3, I think.
I think it was a PS3.
Yeah. What? You sure? I think it was PS2.
It might be PS2. I'm not really sure, to be quite. It's been a while. PS4 has been around for a long time.
Yeah, so it might very well could have been a PS2.
Could have been.
Chris, you doing a lot. I ain't trying to sell my soul for no game.
Right? I just trying to
A
get you.
console, maybe. A console, maybe. No,
Wow. Oh, Alka's already sold signed the dotted line.
y'all out here wilding.
Yeah.
I mean, I've sold my soul over to Sony.
I don't know about that hard. Like I enjoy being PC for the most part, and then like playing PS4 when I want to game with you guys.
Ah, I'm bad.
Yeah.
As long as you're not playing an Xbox, I'm cool.
Yeah, I don't have an Xbox. It's just my PS4, my Switch, and my PC, and my 3DS, which I haven't touched in 2 years.
Oh, how could you, Chris? Wow, deep.
Wow. So both you and Omar aren't members apparently.
You said I let them down. It looked like they were about to kick me from out of the club. Right?
By the way, Alka, no, we haven't talked about Cyberpunk. We probably will in a future episode though, because that is people have been talking about that a lot recently. But yeah, was that it?
Yeah, for me, yeah.
Yeah. So I think, yeah. Guys, thank you all for joining in. Alka, Omar, Chris, Jenny, BES Guild. Thank you all for being a part of this show with your comments. Dwan, thank you for coming on as my co-host.
You're welcome.
And guys, don't forget, if you missed any part of the show, we are on YouTube afterwards. We are on our podcast, which you can pretty much find everywhere, including Spotify. If you missed anything, you could also go over to our website, MOAR Cookies, MOAR Cookies.com. And our other show, More Tech, is on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. You can tune in for that as well. That's going to be myself, Chris, and Vaquel. And if you guys want to, you can also join in on our Discord live chat and actually just have conversations with other people in the community as well as us. So until next time, this is Michael and Dwan
Bye-bye.
signing out.